Back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with this week's edition of Shit Talking Saturday, this is the sister edition of Fuck Shit Friday. When I don't come through on Friday, I come through on Saturday. And y'all know, just like on Fuck Shit Friday, when we do Shit Talking Saturday, oh, that probably was what I needed right there. Oh, yeah. Y'all, I'm trying to get comfortable. Let me just go ahead and tell y'all. Y'all might as well get comfortable too, cause this might run long. I got a lot of topics, and I'm gonna try to get everybody's stuff in. If I can't get you in, please charge it to my head and not my heart, honey, cause I tried. Okay, so like I said, this is the edition where we talk shit and swallow spit. But also, before I begin, I want to say, let me make sure this shit right. I want to say, hold on. Y'all just don't know what I use to prop up the set, baby. Y'all don't know what I use to prop up the set sometimes. Okay. Much. Oh, hell yeah. But, child, one of these days I'm going to do behind the scene like Stanley and Lynette did over at Random TV Reviews just one day. Ain't going to be today. But, uh, before I begin this video, let me just start it off by saying, look, I am not a political person. I am not a psychologist. I am just a woman with an opinion and a platform to which to share it. And that's all I'm doing when I do these topics and stuff like this. Okay, so we can agree to disagree. If you feel like what you think is probably, better than what my mind said, I don't mind you getting down there in the good old panty section and putting it down there as long as you do it respectfully. Just understand whatever you give, I'm going to give back to you, okay? But these is opinions, okay? Bitch, I don't get sensitive. All right. Now that we done got that out the way, y'all should have done got y'all drink. I got mine. This here edition of Shit Talking Saturday is brought to you by none other than Fiji Water. Let me stop, because these people did not, Fiji ain't, they ain't sponsoring me, girl. I just like they goddamn water. But, they ain't sponsoring me for somebody be to tell baby. I be done said that I done got sponsorship from Fiji. Everybody with a computer will be trying to track that down to find out if I'm lying or not. Y'all need to cut that bullshit out. Anyway, let's get on to the topics at hand for this edition of Shit Talking Saturday. Now, the first story came by way of my love thing, one of my love things on Facebook. And the story goes as such. The body of Sheila, I think it's pronounced Abdus-Salaam. She is the first African American Muslim judge appointed to the New York Supreme Court. She was found this week, her body washed up on shore of the Hudson River, okay? Now, this is a 65-year-old woman. She had been reported missing earlier that day by her husband, but her body later on in the day was washed up on the shore of the Hudson, okay? Now, it said that this judge was very strict, especially when it came to holding police officers accountable for, not following the protocols or whatnot like that. She was tough on that type of thing. Now, they're saying there's no sign of trauma to the body. However, police are still investigating her death. Now, I went on further. Someone sent me a clip, a link. And as of yesterday, I read that, they're saying that they think that this could possibly be a suicide. They have not officially, for its, time of taping, they hadn't officially said that, this lady had committed suicide. However, they are stating that, her brother committed suicide around this time of year, 3 years ago, and 1 year ago around this time, she also lost her mother, okay? They said she was facing stress from work. So they trying to, lean towards she committed suicide. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all this. Do you believe this woman who has achieved as much as she has in her life, friends and colleagues consider her a pioneer and a force for the good, committed suicide? Do y'all believe that? This woman who made cops accountable for their action committed suicide. Isn't that odd that just because she suffered a loss, isn't that odd to you that just because this lady suffered a loss in her family, they trying to insinuate that she could have possibly taken her own life? To me, honestly, I think it might be a little foul play. And I think that they realize that it could possibly, just because you don't see any signs of trauma to this lady's body, don't mean that don't mean that, harm could have been falling this lady and not at the hands of herself. I just think it's strange that a woman who, not saying that all police officers are bad, but we didn't hear the stories, especially in New York. We've heard the stories as well, and it's amazing that a judge who makes those type of cops pay. She don't believe in the bro code. She about the books and the law and doing the right thing. And she's done this and has a reputation because she's done it so much of being this type of judge. I find it kind of odd that she would just really commit suicide. Now, if her husband come out and speak, or we read on the news, or he released a statement saying that that was the case, then okay, cool, I'll leave it alone. But I'm sorry, the conspiracy theorist in me just won't leave that alone. I don't really believe that lady committed no suicide. But until I find out differently, we're going to continue to watch this story and see how this turn out, because I think this kind of crazy to me. Mm, mm, mm. Now, my next subject I want to talk about with y'all, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. It's not necessarily anything. Well, it is like a news story, but at the same time, it's more like something that I'm noticing on my own too, along in conjunction with the stories. Now, I want to talk about what society deems as beautiful. Oftentimes, we see the ads, the commercials, things like that, and it's supposedly show you these women who are the standard of beauty. Okay, less than realistic bodies and faces is what I call it, okay? Now, this depiction may lead many women per year to seek to emulate this particular look, okay? And that's cool if you go about it the right way, meaning that you go get you a doctor that's been certified and someone who you can look in his background and see, kind of get an idea of who you're dealing with and what his patients he's worked on before is saying. That's fine. I don't have no problem. I'm not body shaming nobody because, child, I'm fluffy. Okay? And for some women, being fluffy is not what they consider to be beautiful, because it's not what we see when we turn our TVs on. It's not what we see when we flip through the magazine pages. It's not what we see broadcasted in these ads on social media. That's fluffy ain't in. Okay, but so you got a lot of ladies out there that see that and they think to themselves, "I want to be like that, so that I can come, I can fit into society better and up my chances of success in maybe business and love, or just a personal thing for you. You want to fix you, and I ain't got no problem with that. My problem is when you don't go and get the right people who are trained and certified to do these jobs, doing that. It in order to get what you may consider perfection, it ain't gonna be cheap. Ain't gonna be cheap at all. Case in point, let's talk about O'Neal Ron Morris, also known as Toxic Tush Doctor. He was using tire sealant, rubber cement, super glue, and shit like that to enhance people's asses. Now he's gone to jail now for 10 years for a patient by the name of Shatarka Newby. She went to Morris around 2012 and paid $2,000 for treatment to enhance her butt, her hips, her thighs, as well as her breasts. Now her mama Sherry Pitts say that her daughter died the most inhumane way. I'm sorry, my mouth is stuck together. That's hence why we're doing feature today. Okay, that girl suffered 18 months not knowing what he had injected into her body, and the doctors that were working on her couldn't really do anything because they didn't know exactly what he had put in there, what portion she would. They didn't know how to treat her. So this girl lost her life. And what I'm trying to say is learn to embrace the skin you in. I'm not against cosmetic surgery, honey, not at all. However, first you need to find out if this person you're going to is a licensed doctor. Check into this person's references, you know, and also know what they injecting into your body. Be smart about that thing. Anything done right gonna cost you something, and sometimes it yields the results you like, and sometimes it don't. But at least make sure that you're going to somebody who is certified to even be doing the surgeries, and check their references. It's kind of crazy not to do that, but above all of that, if you don't want to go through all of that, there, look, just learn to love who you are. We are imperfectly perfect. Y'all hear me say all the time that I embrace my flaws and all. I do. My gap may offend you, but it don't do shit to me. And until it begins to be a problem for Nika, where she's not feeling good about herself, and she don't want to open up her damn mouth and let her voice be heard because she thinks the fossils in her fucking mouth is what's prohibiting her from being the best that she can be. Then and only then will I go about trying to change any of that. But until then, I'm alright with the way God made me. Now, I'm sure, as I continue in life, I may choose to change some things, but for the most part, I 98% love myself completely. You see what I'm saying? And if it comes to my aesthetics, I'm alright with it. I ain't the prettiest thing, I ain't the ugliest thing. I get what I want. Even if I don't get it from where I want it from, I still get it. So I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. And I wish that young women in general, would learn to fall in love with your queendom. That's what you need to do, honey. When you fall in love and walk in your queendom, ain't nobody can tell you nothing. It's like you begin a whole new life for yourself as a person. Not as a mother, not as somebody's wife, not as somebody's girlfriend, not as somebody's employee, but as a person. Because before you was anything, you was a person. You became a person first. And that's what we need to learn to love. And if it's something about you you do want to change, hey, I ain't knocking you, boo. Do you. But do you sensibly. Don't let what you seeing on this TV lead you to going to these black market, behind the alley, shady ass people that's gonna only do something to you that's gonna make you wind up either dead or looking very, very distorted. That Dr. Toxic Tush or whatever the fuck they calling him, that thing look a mess. Please go onto the internet and type in Toxic Tush Doctor, and you will see them a child. And who the hell would put tire sealing, super glue, and cement in somebody's titties and their ass? That girl that died, her mama said, as she began to get sick, the places with his injection sites got real hard and discolored. Just imagine what that looks like. I would rather be the best me I can be and work toward changing whatever it is that's bothering me than to go out here and take little or no money and go to some sideline black market behind in the alley type of person, and I come out here looking crazy for real and possibly losing my life. It ain't worth it. You need to learn to love the skin you in. I keep telling y'all, we are imperfectly perfect. God wanted you like you is, honey. So embrace that thing. Because I love you. You better love your damn self. Now, moving right along. Let's talk about Miss Janet Jackson. On yesterday, she released her first photo of her and her newborn baby, Easam. And he's a cutie. I mean, you can see the daddy in there, and you can see her as well. Now, I saw this pic everywhere, and although beautiful, was it really all that serious to have that woman everywhere? I'm not trying to offend Janet Jackson fans, because see, I like Janet too, but this is what I'm saying. Janet been in the news a lot this week, and the reason, first thing was that it was reported that her and her husband, what's that man name, Wilson Almana, they separated, okay? Now, I ain't trying to hear. I don't really, all that, I don't care, y'all. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about it, but I do share the news because you asked me to speak about it. But personally, if she ain't happy, we don't know what was going on inside the Almana estates over there across that water. We don't know what was going on behind there, and it's been reported in the blogs that there was indeed a prenuptial agreement where if she stayed exactly 5 years, she would stand to gain, a couple, I think like $200 million or something like that, and if a child came from that, it would double. So I mean, if that's the case, then girl, get your money. But I ain't gonna say that that was her main thing. I ain't gonna say she got in that relationship with that billionaire, and that's what She's her game, her end game was, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna stick around for this time, and then I'm gonna roll up out of here. I don't think that was her thing, but I think that it was probably hard for her to adjust to life with him as far as religious beliefs. I can believe that, and I've seen that on the blogs. My mouth getting dry. But yeah, I've seen that on the blogs that suggested that there may be an issue. I also saw on the blogs that they were saying that it could possibly be the fact that he wasn't too concerned about that situation with her mama Catherine. She had that abuse allegation pinned against her nephew Trent Jackson, I think it's his name or something like that. But anyway, I think that if that's true, then that may have a whole lot to do with it. At any rate, I don't wish to see nobody separate and divorce. I would love to see everybody happy, myself included. But if that's what's best for her and her baby, then I say kudos to you, girl. And shit, girl, that's a come up. I ain't lying. Now you ain't broke, cause we know you from the world famous Jackson family. Y'all icons, legends, and all of that. There, y'all not broke over there. Michael finances was listed, and you ain't even know it. But she I don't think that she got into this marriage with the idea, okay, I'm gonna stick in here long enough to get this coin, and I'm gonna be out because she ain't thirsty. That's Janet Jackson. You ain't never heard about Janet Jackson not being able to take care of herself, and we know she gonna be able to take care of her baby just fine. Only thing is now she becomes a single mother, and that's it. That's all I have to say about that. And I hope that if it's possible, that they are able to reconcile because they got a kid now. And it's always good, if a child can come up in a two-parent household, especially if the mother and father on the same accord. So, my best wishes to Janet. Congratulations on her new baby. And that's all I have to say about her. Now, let's talk United Airlines. See, that's what we need to get to talking about. Now, earlier this week, video footage was released of a passenger aboard a United Airlines flight headed to Louisville, Kentucky, being removed from the plane forcibly. Okay. Now, as this story developed, we learned a little bit more. We learned that this particular flight was said to be overbooked. I seen that shit before I've seen it with United and I've seen it with Southwest because that's who I've been with for a minute now. Southwest. Last year I flew via United. Okay, and even on that flight they had overbooked and they was in there asking people, offering them money and hotel accommodations and all that old shit. And myself, I experienced it couple weeks ago. I was out of town. I was getting ready to leave. They overbooked the flight, and the next flight wouldn't be until the next day. And they actually had gave me a hotel accommodation, and they did right by me. I ain't had no problem with it. Plus, they kind of helped me out because I wasn't ready to go, so it afforded me an extra night in the city, and I was able to get out and have a little fun and stuff. So I was all right with it. However, on this particular flight, nobody seen. I think they had said they went from $400 to $1,000 offering people to get up off the flight because they needed some space for what we learned later on were they needed the space because 4 United Airline employees needed to make it to Louisville, Kentucky. I think they had to be there the next day as well. So instead, they had overbooked the flight. They didn't have no seats for them, so they was begging people, to give them. Well, they was asking people. Let me not say that. They were asking people to give up their seat, and they would compensate you for that. Okay. Well, no one did. No one seemed to want to volunteer to exit the plane to allow one of the employees to take their seat. So, from what I'm understanding, United Airlines has a lottery system where if they have to, they can select randomly passengers and ask them if they would, be willing to catch a later flight. Okay, when they overbook. Well, they picked 4 people, and 3 of the 4 decided, okay, we'll go ahead on and catch a later flight. So they went on about their business. However, there was this one particular passenger, Mr. David Dow, who made it perfectly clear he had no intentions upon giving away his seat. And now, as the story progressed, we find out his wife on that flight with him too. So I'm wondering, were they trying to ask both of them or just him? Because, well, it must have been both of them. So she was one of the 4 people too, had to be, because they said she agreed, but he said no. Because as a doctor, he was supposed to have patients that he had to see the next day. When the United Airline, I guess, security team and maybe, the airport security came to him and asked him, he made it clear he didn't want to leave, all right? Now, instead of them using that same system to randomly pick another passenger on the flight and see if they would work with you, because you already late. Y'all ain't done took off yet. Instead of them doing it that way, they opted to become forceful with the man and try to physically remove him off the plane, resulting in him hurting himself. Now, they responsible for that. You saw on the video, this man mouth, he just bleeding profusely from the mouth, and he being drugged out by some airport or United employees. And I'm like, really? Is it really that serious? Y'all had to do this right here. Really. He didn't swing at them. He just told them what I felt like he should have a right to say. I don't want to give up my seat. And you would think that if he tell them, even though I don't feel like he had to tell them nothing other than I don't want to, but if he done told you he's a doctor and he has to get the patients tomorrow, so getting to his patients is not as important as you getting your employees to this airport in Louisville. Really? Your employees getting to Louisville was so important that y'all caused this man to have, what did they say? What kind of issues did he have? They said he lost 2 front teeth. They said this man broken nose, damage to his sinuses, and a concussion. And when you watch the video, you see that they drug him off the plane. In some kind of way, he was able to get back onto this plane. And the picture of him is almost hard to watch. Man, that man was traumatized. He was dazed. And he went from, I want to go home, to gone and kill me. So, being that, he's of Asian descent, we later found out from Vietnam, and he even said the way he felt on that plane was worse than some of the things that he experienced in Vietnam. Y'all traumatized the hell out of this man. And for what? It wasn't, to me, I don't understand that. I don't understand that whatsoever. And as you watching the video, you hear other passengers just outdone, stunned. You hear him yelling out, "Oh my God," and all of that. All the stuff I probably would have been saying watching this unfold right before my very eyes. But see, this is where I really didn't, my patience got low. My patience got real short. Because United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz, first statement, basically, he was standing behind the actions of the airport or the company's employees. He went so far to say that man was irate and deliberately causing a scene. But then this shit broke on social media. And why did they do that, bitch? They went to dragging the shit out of United Airlines. It's not like United Airlines ain't been in the news over the last couple of weeks. They just had an incident with some females not being allowed to board the plane because they had leggings on and they were flying on the buddy system. Now, that was explained as, when you flying on the buddy thing, that you are actually you like a representation of the company because that's a company discount. So if they hold their own employees to a certain standard of dress, if you fly under that buddy pass, it's as if you're a member of that said company. So you're representing them, so you fall under that same guidelines they have for, I guess, dress code. So I got that. But I don't get this. This is crazy. And after he began to be drug fulfilled, he done since then made by this was the first one he tried to go along with the people at the airlines. Then after he got drugged, he came back 3 times more. One, he giving everybody their money. They getting a refund. Everybody that was on the damn plane. Now we're hearing that he has basically saying that he apologized to the doctor and saying that all passengers aboard the flight. Okay, yeah. Now, in my opinion, these UA people started talking and taking a beating in the media, so much so that they started to fail drastically, and that apology was an attempt at damage control. That's all it was. I don't think they care. Now, the company been, like I said, the company been in the news a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, and I'm not here. I don't understand that. Now, Dr. Dale, per his lawyer, said that he accepted the United Airlines apology. However, in my opinion, my words, if he's smart, I smell lawsuit, and rightfully so. And then I've heard so many other rumors since this story broke. Like, I've heard that the flight wasn't overbooked, but that's neither here nor there. When he refused and stated that, he didn't want to give up his seat, that same system, like I said, that they used before should have been implemented at that moment to get that situation resolved and get them a seat. Or you should have found a way to get your employees there. Y'all should have something in place in case nobody want to give up their seat for your employees if they need to fly. I don't understand that. Get your charter plane or something. Get them now. I just don't understand that. I really don't understand that, and I hope that this man pursues this to the end. I hope he get whatever he can get out of them because that was unnecessary. And I know a lot of people said I can't stand ignorance. I was seeing a lot of people be like, well, it's no different than how they treat black people. Stop turning everything into a fucking race situation. This is a human rights situation. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This is human rights. That could have very well been you, one of your family members, and how would you feel? Yeah, you would be talking about I'm finna get a lawyer and sue, but you wouldn't be like, well, only black people supposed. If it was me, only black people supposed to care, cause white people ain't. It is as many black and white people as well as Asian people that were totally, and people of all other races offended by what these people did. And money talk, bullshit walk. They showed you. They showed you real good, cause they stock is study plummeting. I'm glad I ain't got none anyway. I wish him the best, and I really hope that this is something that will lead United Airlines to doing better with their passengers. Y'all need to do some tightening up over there or something. Cause y'all gonna be the fuck out of business playing with people like that, okay? Now let's move on because I don't want to spend too much time on one thing. Let's talk Fiona White-Thorpe. She's the high school senior who attends, I think it's Moore High School in Denville, New Jersey. She was accepted into 8 Ivy League schools and add Stanford into that bunch. Baby, I said you better do it, little girl. Oh, that made me feel good. She applied to Harvard, Yale, Columbia, UPenn, Brown, Cornell, Dartmouth, Princeton, and Stanford. Her goal, her what she wants to do, she wants to go into global health and study biology. And she said many of those schools named have great research facilities, and so she applied to them all, and every last one of them accepted this girl. Winning ain't new to her, baby. Winning ain't new to her. She also is the National Selma Speech and Essay Competition winner. She advances in all of her advanced placement classes, and she serves as the student government president this year. She ain't decided yet as to what school she's gonna take. Her parents, Andre and Patricia White-Thorpe, are leaving that decision up to her. So I have to say, baby girl, oh girl, I shift my wig for you, okay? Girl, you best to do it. You hear me? That made me feel so good to hear a story about a young black girl doing it, education wise. It made me feel good, honey. I took some pride in reading that story. Just made me feel like she was my own child, and she is one of us. Okay? I love to hear that. Congratulations, little mama. I hope you, oh my God, I hope your star, oh, let your star shoot off into, baby, into the atmosphere, into the galaxy, go as high as you can, honey. Yes, you can. Okay? Barack told you in 2008. Lady Nika telling you in 2017. Yes, you can. That's a feel good story. Now, the next topic, it comes by way of a love thing, asking for just a little bit of advice. So I'm going to share this with y'all, and I'm going to give my thoughts, and then I need y'all to go down into the panic section of this video. And if you will, if you got a little word you can give them, please feel free to do that down there. Now, the situation is as such. My uncle has a special needs child, and the mother is on drugs, and every weekend she drops this child off to my uncle. Should he try to get full custody of his child, and how can he go about doing that? Also, what kind of programs and services can he apply for to help with the child? See, now I gotta backtrack a little bit because maybe I didn't get enough information. You're saying that your uncle has a special needs child. On the weekends, the mother brings the child to him. Now, is that a part of some type of custody agreement they have, or is that like their verbal agreement? Because if it is, I don't see no problem with it. The only time I feel like it's a problem is if your uncle is seeing that his child is being mistreated in some kind of way. And then if that's the case, then he can go to DCFS, and they'll take it from there, you know. But I don't have enough information on this. I mean, is she neglecting the child? Just because she do drugs don't mean that she's a bad parent. And I know some people might be clutching their imaginary pearls on that, but that's true. There are people out here that do little drugs and stuff, and they are totally functional in society. They not bad parents. That's just what the fuck they choose to do. So I really can't condemn her or say anything further because I really don't know. Is there a reason that we think this child is being neglected or done wrong? What is it? You know, I would have to get more information to fully be able to answer that question because really I don't. I can't answer it because I don't have enough information. Now I can say this: if he sees signs of abuse and neglect, he can go to DCFS and let them know what his concerns are, where they can launch an investigation. And during that investigation, when at the initial if they when they first go out to the house, the initial visit, if they do see signs of neglect, it's a possibility the child could be put in his care, and from there they'll move on with that thing. But I would have to know, is this child being neglected, or is it just somebody in the family got a problem with the fact they know what she do on the side, but this child is always taken care of? That's total. I would have to get more information. So, honey, you're gonna have to give me some more information, then I can tell you more. Okay? Let's talk 45 news. I'm trying to do this quick because it gets on my nerves. It makes me mad. I get this from CNN. Now, 1 week after bombing a Syrian air base, 45 authorized the bombing of Afghanistan. At least 94 Islamic State fighters were killed in this most powerful non-nuclear bomb on ISIS targets in Afghanistan, okay? This bomb is called the mother of all bombs, but the official name for it is the GBU 4043B, Massive Ordnance Air Blast Bomb. That's what it's really called, okay? And it was dropped Thursday with its intended target being fortified underground tunnels that ISIS has been using to stage attacks on government forces. That's what they're saying, okay? Now, this bomb is said to be capable of destroying an area equivalent to 9 city blocks. That's how bad this bomb was. It was reported that the bomb cost at least $314 million. However, upon further investigating, I found an article where they were saying that an Air Force representative Friday said it's about $170,000, but the Air Force has not confirmed the developmental cost. So the bomb itself is $170,000. The development of the program to build this bomb is what may take it to that 314 that everybody was hearing about. I don't know if that's the case or not, but you saw a whole lot of celebrities and other Trump critics took to Twitter to express their frustration at the administration authorization of such an expensive bomb. However, we still don't really know what the actual cost of this bomb was. You had somebody named Ian Millhauser. He has a verified account on Twitter. I don't know who he is, but he said, useful context. Also, steal a shitload of money to spend on mass killing authorized by a game show host. But Atika Sumter, which is Candace on the have and have not, said, not one person in government can tell me this country does not have enough money to fund social programs or water. We just dropped $314 million. Jack Slater said, with a verified account, y'all know who that is. The bomb Trump just dropped in Afghanistan cost $314 million, enough to fix the water crisis in Flint 3 times over. Various people have spoke out about this, and I tell you, this is my opinion. I say follow the oil trail. That Syria stuff and this Afghanistan stuff. Follow the trail. Follow the oil trail. Okay. Now, it's said that this country is a superpower, and we for democracy. However, I do feel America spends a little bit too much time worrying about and governing other countries. Meanwhile, turning a blind eye to to situations that we face right here in our own country today. That's how I feel about it. Okay. Now, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. How do people who I want to know? How do the people that voted for this man feel right now? That's what I want to know. We are clearly headed toward a possible war again. Because you got North Korea over there lining up, getting in position. Syria and Korea don't even get along, ain't got along for years, but they getting along right now because they got a problem, and the problem is us. Countries been at odds for years, now joining forces because America bombing and threatening their way threatening their way of government. Child, how do you feel today, those of you who went out to the polls and voted for this man? Because in a few short months that he has taken office, he has stirred up so much controversy, and more than likely, this country was headed toward a war. I feel scared, y'all. I feel scared because I'm a mother of 2 young black men. And I'd be damned if I want my children, my sons, my kings, fighting for a country that barely respects them, if at all. That's how I feel about it. I worry about war on American soil, okay? Because we've been lucky. For the most part, we ain't had no whole lot of... Most of the time, we go over there and we fuck up they shit, okay? But we've already seen what a little devastation can be to us in the form of 9/11, in form of the Boston Marathon bombing, in form of the Post nightclub shooting, and various other little minor mishaps that have gone on. And not that all of it is connected to terrorism or anything like that, because some of it may not be. I'm not, I didn't check into that well enough. But what I will say is, we are not prepared. Are we really prepared, or do we really want the devastation that we cause other countries to actually come on American soil? Is that really what you want? All because this man say he want to make America great. I can't say make it great again, because in my estimation, America has never been great. From the time they landed over here and snatched the land up from the Native Americans, from the time that they went over into Africa and foreign lands above, up beyond, and grabbed up my ancestors, your ancestors, and brought them over here and made them build this country and paid them nothing, treated them as what we are known as back then as slaves. This country ain't never been great in my opinion, because it's all for one, it was obtained illegally. You came over here in this land, you didn't discover. How you gonna discover something that some people already own? And you took over this land. You went over into Africa, and some of our people were stupid enough to sell some of us off, and a vast majority of us were stolen away from our families, brought over here on slave ships, and made to work for these white folks who never gave a damn about them, treated them like animal, abused their bodies, raped their bodies. So when was this country ever great? This country was never great. And people need to get their head out the damn sand that's running around here saying this. Now, I'm not no big political person. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't into all of this shit. I watch now because I'm worried about the future of this country, because I'm still living in this shit. And I worry about what's going to happen going forward, because I have children and grandkids that I want to be able to, have a good life. I want them to have the opportunities that should be afforded to them in this country. So yeah, I'm a little bit more vigilant on watching that news now, but I'm not no big political person. But it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out something is wrong here. This man has been here less than 100 days, and we've already dropped 2 bombs. He shut the airports down a couple of months ago, telling people from Syria that they couldn't even come over here or come home, because they live here. They just from over there. I just I don't understand. I don't understand how people who think that this man can make America great. How the hell can he make America great? Child, he can't even run his own relationships. How the hell he... Okay. Moving right along. Let's move on to entertainment news. T.I. did an interview this week with Angie Martinez, and in this interview, he basically said his marriage was a distraction. See, he got a goal. He got somewhere he wants to take the family hustle. You know what I'm saying? And distractions keep him from being able to do that. And when he got on there and said that, basically, he basically said that he and Tiny is one of his best friends. He feels that he is a better friend than he is a husband. Motherfucker, what? Oh, you a better husband. You decide after all these years this girl has put behind your ass. You decide after all these kids that you done had with her, and the ones that you had without her, but she still is a mother to your children for you. You decide that after you get out of jail, after she done took charges to keep your ass from violating parole, after she done dealt with you embarrassing her in the world with all these infidelities that you have with these different females all the time, now all of a sudden you done decided that you're a better friend than husband. Bitch, fuck you. I can't stand it. Oh, baby. See, this is why I say some of these celebrities, stay y'all asses off of fucking reality TV and don't do that many damn interviews. Because what made us like you in the beginning We need to keep that. We don't need you talking, because every time I like Tip, okay? Don't get it twisted. I like Tip. I like Bring 'em Out. I like big things stopping. I like what that is, Top Back. I like Rubber Band Man. I like all that shit I told y'all back in the day. I used to pop pussy in the club for the thugs, okay? So I know who he is, but what I feel like is a lot of times these celebrities don't need to get their ass on reality TV or nothing like that where we are exposed to who the fuck you really are, because we tend to not like your ass anymore because of that. And it offended me because this girl done been humiliated for years by this man. You even humiliating her now as y'all are in y'all phase of being separated, because you got your side bitch, or one of your side bitches, Bernice, talking shit to this woman. And that's something else. Let me tell you something. You ain't no real player, Tip. I'm gonna tell you why you ain't no real player. Because a real player, he know how to keep his stable intact. One thing that a player can do is keep his stable intact. All his thoroughbreds know they fucking roll. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that she should never say anything to that woman. Side bitches, let me tell you, Horace, what your job is. Bitch, y'all are supporting cast. Y'all just supposed to stand there, look pretty, and be available when he asks you to. But you don't have no lines, bitch, so don't say nothing. Now, I'm not saying that T.I., I'm not saying that Tiny built T.I., because she didn't. But Tiny was a fucking star, known worldwide, when T.I. was an underground artist, okay? And this ain't no shit I had to look up, because, bitch, remember, I'm the bitch that used to pop pussy in the club for the thugs. This woman has gone through it all. You ain't finna tell me that she ain't invested her money into it. She forfeited her career for this man. She done had baby after baby. This girl been trying to be what he want her to be for so long because she love him. This girl don't even look like the same motherfucker that was in Escape almost. She went way overseas just to change the color of her eyes. Now, it ain't all, a man can only do what you allow. But clearly she loves him. And I know she had to be hurt